At 2:47 a.m., Donald Trump didn't just send a post, he triggered a $27 trillion structural collapse of the Western financial architecture. While the media calls it a tantrum, the reality is a calculated geopolitical strike designed to burn down the DOJ's evidence-gathering machine before the courtroom doors even open. This is U.S. Dispatch 247, raw, uncut. And here is the truth they are too terrified to tell you. To understand the scale of this, we have to look past the rhetoric and follow the money. Within 6 hours of that 2:47 a.m. post, the global markets didn't just react, they buckled. The European Central Bank, ECB, triggered an emergency session that wasn't on anyone's calendar. In the world of high finance, unscheduled meetings are the international signal for a systemic fire. But the real earthquake happened at Lloyd's of London. For those who don't know, Lloyd's is the heart of global risk. They provide the insurance that allows nations to borrow money. When Trump threatened to unilaterally walk away from NATO commitments, Lloyd's effectively pulled the plug. They suspended new sovereign debt insurance for 12 European nations. This froze a $4.2 trillion market instantly. Imagine a continent trying to run its economy while its credit cards are being declined at every terminal. That is exactly what Trump achieved before sunrise. Why does this matter to you? Because it created a liquidity trap. When government bonds become uninsurable, they become toxic. Interest rates spike, currencies wobble, and suddenly the stability we've taken for granted since 1945 is revealed to be a house of cards. Trump isn't just talking about defense spending. He's holding the very concept of European solvency hostage. He proved that with one thumb and a social media app, he can outmaneuver the greatest financial minds in Brussels and Berlin. Now let's peel back the layers on why this is a prosecutorial nightmare. The Department of Justice is currently running multiple high-stakes investigations into Trump's global business empire, from the valuation of Scottish golf courses to Deutsche Bank's internal ledgers in Frankfurt. The evidence isn't sitting in a file cabinet in Washington, D.C., it's overseas. To get that evidence, the DOJ relies on mutual legal assistance treaties, or MLATs. This is the invisible plumbing of international justice. If the DOJ wants a bank record from Germany, they don't just demand it. They ask the German government to seize it under these treaties. It is a system built entirely on mutual respect and shared security interests. By detonating the NATO alliance, Trump performed a surgical strike on this plumbing. He effectively told the leaders of Europe, you can choose to be a witness for the DOJ, or you can choose to have a security umbrella. You cannot have both. This is the ultimate quid pro quo played out on a global stage. He is weaponizing American foreign policy to obstruct his own domestic criminal trials. Think about the position this puts a prosecutor in. If you are a DOJ attorney and your request for Scottish financial records is suddenly delayed indefinitely because the UK government is worried about a trade war with a potential future president, your case is dead in the water. Trump has identified the ultimate glitch in the American legal system. Our laws stop at the border, but his leverage reaches every corner of the globe. The fallout didn't stop at the banks. It moved into the ministries of justice across the Atlantic. Just 48 hours after the post, the Netherlands, the nation that houses the International Criminal Court and processes thousands of U.S. subpoenas annually, announced a comprehensive review of all pending legal assistance requests. In the language of diplomacy, comprehensive review means we are stopping until we get what we want. France's finance minister took it a step further in an interview with Le Monde. He didn't just talk about trade, he spoke about conditional cooperation. The message was unmistakable. France will honor its legal treaties only if the U.S. honors its security treaties. This is a direct threat to the evidentiary chain of the New York financial fraud cases. Then came the German intelligence leak. Reports began to surface that the BND, Germany's federal intelligence agency, is reevaluating its data sharing protocols with the U.S. This is the deep state of Europe pushing back. They are holding back the financial intelligence, the wiretap transcripts, and the money laundering trails that the DOJ needs to build a solid case. Trump hasn't just built a wall at the border. He's built a wall of silence around his international financial history, and he's using the safety of millions of Europeans as the mortar for that wall. This brings us to the most terrifying part of this 72-hour window, the irrelevance of the American judiciary. A federal judge in Washington can issue a subpoena, they can threaten contempt, and they can demand documents. But a judge has no power over a sovereign government in Paris or London. When a defendant has the power to dismantle the diplomatic levers that enforce the law, the courtroom becomes a theater of the absurd. We are entering what I call the post-accountability era. In this era, justice isn't about facts or evidence. It's about who has the most geopolitical leverage. If you can threaten to crash a nation's economy or leave their borders undefended, you don't need a good lawyer. You own the system. This creates a dangerous blueprint for every future autocrat and billionaire. They now see that the US legal system has a master key. If you can turn the institutions of government against each other, if you can pit the State Department against the Department of Justice, you win. You don't just win the case, you destroy the very idea that anyone is under the law. The rule of law is being replaced by the rule of the deal. And right, Geo, the deal is being written in 2 a.m. social media posts. The dust hasn't settled and the damage is still being tallied. But make no mistake, the 72 hours following that 2:47 a.m. post changed the world forever. We are no longer living in a world of stable alliances and predictable justice. We are living in a world of raw power where a $27 trillion alliance can be used as a personal shield. The DOJ is paralyzed, our allies are in revolt, and the public is being told this is just politics as usual. But here at US Dispatch 247, we know better. We track the moves that the mainstream media is too compromised to report. We give you the uncut, unfiltered intelligence you need to survive this new era of chaos. If you want the truth that cuts through the noise, the truth that actually explains how power works in 2026, you need to be part of this community. Don't just watch, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share this video before the filters catch up to us. Because in a world where the rule of law is for sale, information is the only currency that matters. Stay sharp, stay raw. This is US Dispatch 247. I'm out.